First is more than just a place at the top. To be first, you need determination, passion, commitment, compassion, resilience. These are the values that make us first citizens. First means leading with technology. First is the power to achieve your true potential. First means putting people above all else. Today, we are growing across the region, and the best is yet to come. First citizens, we put you first.
Even as we revel in the exploits of our heroes, from the past to the present, it has always been about the future. Part of our responsibility is to ensure that our generations to come are exposed to the standards upon which we have thrived at the highest level, teaching the proper techniques and skills that allow one to maintain top quality standards, thus preserving the qualities necessary to compete on the international stage and successfully challenge the world. For 60 years, the First Citizens Sports Foundation has recognized the achievements of those who have proudly represented Trinidad and Tobago and, in the process, have harnessed their talent, skill, determination, and competitive drive into achieving the victories and enacting the performances that have brought forth the cheers and emotion from all of us as they brought glory to the red, white, and black.
Wearing my red, white, and black and going out there representing my country, I feel like nobody can stop me. Trinidad is a major impact to me. I love it, and it is one of the greatest honors for any national player to represent their country.
It's the biggest thing for me. Playing at the national level and competing on the world stage, national competitions is always a great honor, always a great opportunity to represent and showcase what Trinidad and Tobago could do at these competitions, and we continue to strive for excellence.
To see all these big teams, these big names, these people twice the size, just make you feel like that's something more, you know. That's why I get through that whole experience for 7s, for 15s. Seeing these people that could do that much, just making them feel like that much more powerful.
When I represent Trinidad and Tobago, I have this militant sort of approach to it. I know that I'm on national duty. I know that I'm representing my country. So it's a very serious thing for me. I take it very seriously.
Wearing the red, white, and black means everything to me. I don't take it lightly. I know that it is a huge accomplishment and a privilege to wear the red, white, and black. I am extremely patriotic. I always represent Trinidad and Tobago everywhere I go. From a tender age, I always saw all the athletes on the newspapers and on the news wearing their national colors, and I just knew that someday that I would get the chance to do the same. And I am very, very humble and privileged to wear the red, white, and black. I wear my hat on my sleeve, and I always promote Trinidad and Tobago everywhere I go.
Joshua, so how it is representing Trinidad and Tobago and West Indies at an international level?
A dream come true. When I first made my first class debut, I couldn't believe it, and I did not expect it to happen so quickly to reach West Indies level, but I had a very good season with Trinidad and Tobago. And yeah, just so happened COVID came around, and I have a bit to thank because they brought some reserves up to England, and yeah, that helped push my way into the West Indies team and into the setup, the first 11 I've been playing for a couple of years now. So yeah, it's definitely a dream come true and something that every cricketer aspires from the moment they want to say they play cricket is to make it to the highest level, and that's exactly what happened, and hopefully it continues. Rajiv, what was your experience like at the under-19 level in the regional tournament?
Well, for me, it was a learning experience, I must say. You know, learning from the coaches, you know, it was kind of difficult for me, but with the players I had, they made me feel a little more comfortable in terms of when I was in a difficult situation and stuff like that. So it was a good experience and a good learning experience. I also had fun up there, so that was the main thing for me.
So what does it feel like to represent your country?
I think it's a great honour to represent this country, especially internationally, and have TTO next to your name, especially since there's so few people who can say that they've represented the country and have been successful. I think it's just a great honour. What about you?
I think it's amazing to fly the red, white and black colours throughout the world. It feels a great honour to have to be successful doing it as well and achieving your goals as a team and united as one.
Representing Trinidad at an international level is one in a million experience, because not only you're representing your country, but you get to represent your school and yourself, and most importantly, like your parents and all your support.
Representing Trinidad and Tobago in international competitions has been an extremely expansive experience for me. From a small boy growing up in the countryside of Faizabad, climbing plum trees, pelting down mangoes, and trying to catch lizards, to traveling the world and competing against some of the best squash players in the world is such a unique opportunity that I would not trade for anything. It has ignited a new perspective of my views on life and what is possible if you have strong desires and take massive action towards fulfilling and achieving those desires. It has given me the belief that anything is possible and there is unlimited potential in everyone.
It's actually a pleasure. It's a really good feeling being young and always hearing everyone talking about how great it is representing our national team and our country, and being able to do so, and hopefully we can do a lot more and take the country where it needs to be.
Representing Trinidad and Tobago has been nothing but a pleasure. I am so happy that I was able to be given this great opportunity to represent my dad's country and represent all these people who are behind me and backing me and supporting me in doing this. It's been such a great experience. I've been able to travel so many different places and meet so many new people. I've also been able to learn more about myself as a gymnast, as an athlete. So I just think it's overall been a really great experience, and I can't say how thankful I am for it.
Currently, I am the Honorary Life President for the Trinidad and Tobago Volleyball Federation, having served in many positions: Assistant Secretary, General Secretary, President. My career started in administration in 1988, and throughout the journey, we have had many significant achievements. In 1993, we hosted the Caribbean Championships. And in 1994, we were recognized as a sports administrator. I joined the Olympic Committee and was the vice president of the Olympic Committee. I think being now the vice president of the International Volleyball Federation will crown it all. And more so, being the president of the Development Commission, of which I hold dear to my heart, because I'm very much passionate about development of the sport, specifically of youths. When we qualified for the World Championships for the female in 2018. That was a culmination of a 10-year development plan. The highest we have reached is 27 ranked in the world for the women and 34 for the men. And those were some of our highlights. I am humbled and honored to receive such a prestigious induction into the Hall of Fame. Now I have joined many sportmen and sportwomen and administrators of this country who have done great service to sport in general. Sport development is a long-term process and begins when a child is introduced to a discipline, and it continues throughout the athlete's career.
The biggest thing for me was exposure to the mindset of success, and that gave me a lot of perspective on what I should consider true success to be, because as a child or as an age group or as a teenage swimmer in Trinidad, what I perceived as successful was not what I perceive to be successful now. And I think that this sort of exposure to great athletes at a young age, at 17, 18, 19, at USC and in San Diego, I think that it gave me perspective of how far you can really go with this sport. I think that made a lot of a difference in how I set my goals and what I set out to do.
I've had a lot of defeats in my lifetime and a lot of disappointing moments, and through those disappointing moments is what really made me the athlete that I am today and what made me get victories on the back end of disappointment, So to younger athletes, I would definitely say, in disappointing times, in hard moments, push through it, and eventually you definitely will get some type of progress or victory.
Some of the factors that are important for me are the physical aspect, the mental aspect, and I would say the friendship, getting to know your players and your coaches and all of that.
I prepared for it by training really hard and making sure I can beat everyone, because I don't want to go there and lose for my country and disappoint my country. So I decided to train really hard, the hardest I can possibly train, and it did work out very well for me because I came second in CASA, and I'm very happy and very proud of that. Except with my older brother, my grandpa also made him join squash, and since he was young, he liked it.
Throughout my career, there's been many important factors to my development as a squash player, but the main factor that I find helped me the most throughout it was support from family, friends, such as granny, grandpa, mommy, daddy, and without them, I wouldn't begin to drop to practice as frequently as I do, and without their help, I just wouldn't have made it as far as I did.
The day before, I prepare everything I need for school and for my training session. I go to school in the morning and train in the evening. On Mondays, I do middle distance. On Tuesdays, I do HEP, and on Wednesdays, I do sprint training, and I do it in a routine.
Quick.
I would say, growing up, my mom was a single parent, so seeing her had to buy everything for me growing up was one of the crucial moments. That's why I dedicated myself to push myself with track so I could reach far, which I did, thanks to my mom and my family. Family is a big support, so that's what made me push to the limit and made it to where I am right now.
The major factor would be the support I get from my coach, my friends, and my parents. I would not have gotten this far if it was not for the support of my dad, who financially funded me for the majority of my career, and my mom, who took the time and effort almost every evening on a Tuesday and a Thursday to drive me up to my club where I could at least put in the time on the training to more or less for me to reach where I am today. Not to mention to the time and effort and the long hours that my coach would stay with me and make sure I would perfect my form or close to perfection. Another thing and also would be my determination. Majority of the times too, given that I am now a working individual, sometimes it's a tad bit difficult to go from work straight to training and still maintain that level of determination I have respect to bettering myself.
The factors that influence my development have to be like technique, speed work. I train 9 sessions a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, I swim in the mornings from 4 to 6:30. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, I do gym work in the mornings as well. And then from Monday to Friday, I swim in the afternoons from 4 to 6.
One of the main crucial factors has been the ability to get out to international tournaments. Traveling is always expensive. For instance, I've always been on this chase for the international master title. It's not that easy to get, and it requires international tournaments, and there just has to be some balance between working and being able to chase that dream of becoming an international master. So my focus in chess is still to try to chase the international master title. But of course, one of my focuses is also to bring up some new players, and there are a number of very good promising new players, and help them to come up in the ranks, and maybe what I did not achieve, I might help them to achieve.
Without a good teacher, can't really make it anywhere, whether that would be my family, parents, or even coach. So I'm very grateful that they are here, not only helping me, but all the other younger ones that really want to get into this sport, because getting into a sport is very impactful and very useful for your life. It basically changes you, it gives you so much discipline, really does affect you, because it allows you to see so much of the world, get a deeper and greater understanding, because you get to interact with so many people from different cultures that it opens your mind.
There's so many highlights in my almost 3 decades of playing hockey. I will start with the junior under-21 team that qualified for the World Cup in 1992 in a tournament in Venezuela, the World Cup qualifiers, and we came second in the tournament, and I was also joint goal scorer with 9 goals. And back then I believe that we were the only female team to qualify for a World Cup, and that was a really big deal. Also too, when the senior team qualified for the Indoor World Cup in 2002 in USA, we came first in that tournament. When the Ministry of Sport and Youth Affairs nominated me as one of the top 50 athletes in the 1900s, that was a significant milestone. And back then, when we didn't have cell phones, I was placed on a TSCT $20 phone card in 1997. And of course, I cannot forget my career at American University in Washington, D.C., where I basically busted every single record possible with most goals, most assists. I was selected to the first team on 3 occasions. I was also selected to the All-American first team as well as the Mid-Atlantic Regional first team. I was also featured in Sports Illustrated. Like, who does that? Sports Illustrated. And then of course, the highlight of my career at American University was being inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2008. When I got the message that evening, I thought it was spam, actually. I thought it was junk. I almost did not open the message. And then I looked at it, and I looked at it once, and then I looked at it twice. I was like, is this for real? So I eventually called, and the rep told me it was true. And then after that, it was all emotions. We were jumping, we were screaming. I actually started to cry because it's the one award that would basically complete my whole career. And I went straight into the room and I looked at a picture of my dad and I said, Dad, this one is for you. I really owe this one to my parents and everybody who passed through my life. Thank you so much. And it's just an incredible feeling, and I'd really like to thank the First Citizen Sports Foundation for this incredible honor to be inducted into the Hall of Fame for the sport of field hockey and to be classed among so many sportswomen and sportsmen and of course administrators in Trinidad and Tobago. I formed my own coaching school, the Stacey Subert Hockey School, probably about 10 years ago. And it's really gratifying to know that I could pass on all the experience and knowledge that I've gained throughout my entire career to these young, aspiring athletes. The joys of winning and, well, of course, the sorrows with losing, but all that is part of teaching these young athletes the sport and how to learn to live with the experiences of playing sport. And who introduced you to your sport and supported your career? That's right, at least one family member. A huge debt of gratitude is owed towards those who turned out to be the foundation of success.
My parents are definitely my biggest idols in my life. They've shown me nothing but dedication over the years to help me reach my dreams. My dad shared his love and passion with me coming to the United States to play collegiately and professionally. He instilled the passion of the sport in me, and I've just grown to enjoy getting better every day.
I think it's important that my family has supported me during my racing career because it can get very challenging mentally as well as physically. But I think that their emotional support has helped me a lot, as well as their financial support.
Family support and inspiration has been a major impact and a major benefit to my career because it gives me the motivation, the drive, the encouragement to go forward and keep going at it even when I don't feel like going at it. So it's very important and I appreciate it.
To me, as a student athlete, my support system has helped me tremendously, both through sport, academics, and every challenge that I've encountered in the past. My support system has helped me a lot. My family, both mentally, financially, my club, coaches, everyone that has pushed me, supported me. They have helped a lot in every aspect.
My dad is probably my biggest supporter. He's with me through everything, so I think having him by my side, it's a great feeling.
My family support has been an inspiration to me, because without my father here, I wouldn't have been through this moment. He brought everything to me, made sure that everything supported me, and my coach taught me everything, brought all the knowledge in my head, and just, made sure I knew everything.
Someone that's been an inspiration to me is actually my older cousin, Charlotte Nags. She started squash years before me. She's competed in numerous Commonwealth Games, has Caribbean national titles as well. And because she's very close to me, family and a friend, she's someone that I've always looked up to and someone that I've always aspired to beat, and that was a big motivation for me.
While having the support of your partner out there, you also need the support of your family members back home. Like for me, my mom is my #1 supporter. She's always there cheering me on, pushing me, come on, you can do this. So sometimes you need that extra little push and that support from your family that will uplift your spirit in the game to perform better.
When I started on this sport, I really didn't have the drive to go training every day. My mother would have woken me up all hours in the morning to go in savannah and run laugh like a madman. I'd have rather stayed home to play video games. But it's more like these that give me the motivation and inspire me and should inspire others to continue to train. Even on the days where you really don't feel like going to train, you should ensure that those are the days that you go, because sometimes they turn out to be your best days.
In life, my biggest idol would be my mom. I would forever be my mom, the way she taught me how to overcome struggles, not by just telling me, but by me also seeing how she overcame certain things growing up, and to me that will always be my biggest idol.
My family is my backbone, not just my immediate family comprised of my parents and my 3 younger sisters, but my extended family from my grandmothers to my aunts and uncles, cousins. They have supported me in ways that the larger swimming community would have never seen. And again, at my lowest times is when my family would have been like a rock for me. And they would have done things from fundraisers to making sacrifices to helping me with preparing meals when time was really short and helping me to get to competitions when finances were low. Those type of sacrifices and their love and support has taken me so very far, and I'm really, really incredibly grateful to my family.
My mom is my #1 fan. She supports me no matter what results. Before every game, I talk to her after every game. She's always there to lend that helping hand. Anytime I need someone to talk to before a game, if it's nerves or anything like that, she's always there. My dad, he makes sure that everything goes smoothly for us when we're going to tournaments. My grandmom, she supports me a lot. She is one of my biggest fans also. Anything I need, she's there for me. My uncles support me a lot.
And now we meet another source of inspiration, Group CEO of First Citizens, Karen Darbisi.
Family is where it all starts, providing a solid foundation. And we at First Citizens salute not only the athletes, but the families as well, and their support team. Successfully receiving any battle takes precision, technique, and an enormous degree of mental and physical control. It is a delicate act of letting go on one end while facilitating a firm grasp on the other. In 2004, we received a superbly delivered pass from the local pioneers of the sports awards, the West Indian Tobacco Company. Almost 20 years later, it has been our pleasure to honor and build upon their excellent leg through the work of the First Citizens Sports Foundation. Today, we've proudly arrived at the 60th edition of the awards. This milestone is a testament to that incredible vision and foresight that emerged in 1962, that we should find a way as a nation to celebrate those who have dug deep and delivered, taking us to sporting glory. Over the years, that vision has evolved enormously. Through the oversight of the First Citizens Foundation, powered by its community program, the Sports Foundation's output has evolved into more than a single award show. While rewarding athletes remains at the heart of what they do, I am really proud of the Foundation's multifaceted contribution of year-round collaborations with key stakeholders, direct work with athletes, training and development initiatives, and the much-needed archiving of sporting history. What they have been able to accomplish is a seamless approach through which the principle of laying a foundation for those to come and effectively passing the baton has remained paramount. With every modicum of support, they are ensuring that the path is paved for another sporting generation to develop, thrive, and achieve greatness. With the 30th anniversary of First Citizens on the calendar this year, the group could not have asked for a more fitting accompaniment than celebrating 60 years of national sporting achievements with the support of the First Citizens Sports Foundation. More work in this space lies ahead of us, as sport continues to be a discipline with immense potential to address the plethora of social ills prevalent today, as well as build a healthy populace for tomorrow. We remain hopeful that through the contribution of the Foundation, in partnership with its affiliate entities, we can work collectively to advance global sustainable development goals for sport and secure a sporting future that Trinidad and Tobago can continue to be proud of. So setting future goals is an endeavor that all athletes can easily identify with. We at First Citizens Family firmly support our talented young athletes in achieving their targets. Allow me to pass the baton to another group of rising stars.
For me, right now, as I'm now beginning to compete and get into the karate circuit internationally, I would love to achieve more accolades in the Karate Premier League. That's a big goal of mine against all those European countries. I really want to medal and make podium a lot for that. And as well, if karate comes back into the Olympics, I would really love to participate in the Olympics. I think that's like everybody's dream.
They always say that knowledge is not something that we keep to ourselves. It's always better to pass it on, to see that sort of progression. We always look up to each other, even our current instructors, Sensei Chef, Dr. Shim, Sensei Frida, Sensei Ian, all of them. We look up to them, Sensei Nicole. I mean, they were competing before, and now they're teaching us. And over to you.
I love teaching, so I could see myself teaching even after I'm done competing. But the last few years competing as an athlete for Trinidad and Tobago, I've actually grown to love the administrative side too. I think there's a lot of potential for that area, developing athletes from the grassroots level to international level, building our federation.
First main goal is become an Olympic gold medalist. Besides that, there's steps to everything. CAC games coming up, Pan Am games coming up, which is our boxing Olympic qualifiers. So the two immediate goals is first get a medal at CAC, qualify for Pan Am games, qualify for the Olympics, and get to Paris 2024 alongside those other goals. And I hope that I could encourage a lot more female boxers, to get into the sport and get involved in sports on the whole.
I would say my goal is to compete in Europe in an endurance championship and probably one day compete at 24 hours or more, 24 hours a Daytona or something like that. I love racing sports cars. I mean, I race in the Radicals now, which is like a Formula type car, but my love has always been saloons and sports cars, so that's my dream.
As I go into 2023, my preparations has been coming along really great after a big accident at the end of 2022. But I mean, my preparations have been going great and I'm eager and waiting to get onto the track in Egypt at the start of my 2023 season.
If there's one major thing I want to achieve in my chess career, it will probably be to one day become a grandmaster. Right now, I have smaller goals like trying to qualify for the Olympic team for Trinidad and Tobago and winning the national junior events that are being hosted in the country.
I see myself in the future representing Trinidad in GT cars or even LMP, and I feel proud being one of the few in the Caribbean and in Trinidad and Tobago as a successful motorsport driver.
We're a bit disappointed with the setbacks from injuries and stuff like that, but it is what it is. It's a high performance sport. This year I only have 3 goals, is to qualify for the Olympics in Paris in the road race and the time trial. I also want a top 10 in the road goals, and I'd really like to be a part of the team for the Tour de France and to possibly win a stage or wear some jersey. That's just my 3 goals.
My goal as I go forward in my career obviously is to continue building on what I have today. There's always room for growth, room for improvement,
and to be recognized globally. It's one thing to be known in your country, but it's another thing to be going to different countries and everybody already know who you are. So that's my dream, to become known as one of the best in the world in the midfield or forward areas.
It's really great hearing the future goals of our young athletes. And this is why our theme, Passing the Baton, is so relevant at this stage. Because over the years, throughout society, in every aspect of society, the baton has been passed. Otherwise, there would be no progress, there'll be no development, and we would have been in a stagnant position. So similarly in sport, we have passing the baton. We have seen it from the early days of sport, whatever sport it may be, football, cricket, track and field. We have seen the older sportsmen, like the Mutleys, like the Crawfords, who have sat around, who have nurtured and have passed the baton to the younger ones. That is why we are here today, because the baton has been passed. When COVID started in late 2019, the world was a bit surprised. We thought that it would be encapsulated in China alone. We did not think at that time that would be a pandemic, affected the entire world. But slowly going on to 2020, we saw what happened. It passed from Europe straight across to the Americas and came to the Caribbean. And initially, with the initial virus, there were a lot of deaths, there were a lot of hospitalizations, and because of that, most aspects of society were locked down, including sport. We did not see sport restart until 2022. And this is why we want to give thanks to our athletes who came out from where they were, isolation, fear, despair, and yet they were able to come out in 2022 and perform. And this is why we have this function today, passing the baton, because the baton was passed to them and they took the responsibility that we must perform irrespective of the situation, and we must make Trinidad and Tobago proud. First Citizen Sports Foundation, led by the bank, created by the First Citizens Bank, is a catalyst for driving sport. And this is why this committee, the Sports Foundation Committee, was designed and developed. We talk, and what we do, we analyze. And as we analyze sport and where the situation of sport was in Trinidad and Tobago, we thought we needed to continue to have these functions so that the athlete will know that they're not in a vacuum, that they are being looked after, they are being recognized. And this is the reason why we restarted the award ceremony after the COVID, and quite successfully too. And this is why it continues now with that success and with this passing the baton, so that people throughout Trinidad and Tobago will truly understand what we went through as a society, what the athletes went through as athletes, and what we went through as sporting committees. As I close, I would like to say thank you to the many athletes, to the many administrators, to the people from the sporting communities who have passed recently. We want to thank them for their many contributions, because they were part of the development as they passed the baton from their stage to those who are in charge at present.
never ever to be neglected or forgotten. The specially challenged amongst us have long deserved their shot at enjoying a productive life in our society. This includes gainful employment, artistic expression, and athletic endeavor. And several of our special athletes have been making a habit out of doing Trinidad and Tobago proud at international events.
If I was not in archery, I would actually be painting. My first gift from the Almighty is the ability to paint. I am an artist, I am a shooter, I am a therapist. I wear many hats.
If it wasn't for chess, I would see myself doing music. Right now I do music for CSEC, and it's one of my passions. I play guitar and piano.
If I wasn't in the sports, I would have been at a university learning how to be a pilot and trying to receive my pilot license so I can fly at any commercial airline I wish.
If I was not competing in archery, I would currently be furthering my education in university and still doing archery as a hobby. If I was not competitively, I would still be doing it no matter what.
Honestly, I don't think I would have been doing any sports. I think swimming was just there from the beginning, and I couldn't see myself doing anything else.
I would be playing musical instruments. I play the piano and the steel pan. I love music and I play it every week.
If I wasn't playing tennis, that's a tough one. I'd probably be doing something competitive. I just love competing. I love the pressure involved and trying to fight through that pressure and come out victorious. I think definitely doing something competitive if I wasn't playing tennis.
First Citizens has been committed to the cause of celebrating sporting excellence and the achievements of our athletes for over 60 years. First Citizens has always been very, very helpful to the athletic community and the government. When I first assumed duties as Minister of Sport, it was First Citizens that came when we were trying to provide support to the volleyball team, and that was 2018. So for us as a government and as a country, these awards mean so much. It's celebrating the commitment, the grit, the perseverance of our athletes, and I think it's a source of encouragement and inspiration for them to keep on working, keep on toiling. It's more than about medals or having the hardware, but it's paying tribute to their discipline and their strength of character. So for the athletes, we're happy, and as the government and citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, we look forward to these awards because we must pay tribute and we must salute and give honor and recognition where it's due. 2022 was a watershed year for us in sport. We racked up medals at the Commonwealth Games, and we saw many of our athletes breaking records and really showing off on the international stage. So in 2023, we hope and we intend to keep the medals coming, of course, and as government, we continue to support our athletes as they pursue their athletic aspirations. As a government, we continue to invest in our athletes through the Elite Athlete Assistance Program and other grant programs to the athlete. But I think our investment and our contribution as it relates to sport is more than that. It's about developing infrastructure, not only in the urban areas as we're doing right now with refurbishing the Hasty Crawford Stadium. We look forward to that, and the works are ongoing. We've done some refurbishment and some construction in some regional and smaller communities. Right now we're here at Diego Martin Regional Complex. In Tobago, we're refurbishing the Dwight York Stadium. We're into the third phase of refurbishment. And we continue to make those investments in our different facilities. We've delivered swimming pools at the community level in Sovereign Trace, Laventille, in Maloney, in Mova. And it's more than creating new swimmers or new athletes to grace the podium. It's about developing discipline. It's about investing in young people. It's about using sport as a tool for development and a tool for peace. As it relates to the bigger picture, we are working with the international organizations and parent bodies to develop our world-class facilities to a stage where we can be regional centers for development and for training. For instance, you would note that we just received accreditation from UCI to become a world cycling center, the 6th one in the whole world, the 1st one in the Caribbean and the Americas. We host the Commonwealth Youth Games this year, support Trinidad and Tobago as we host the 7th Commonwealth Youth Games. As you know, we are hosting from August 4th to 11th, 7 sporting disciplines, 4 in Tobago and 3 in Trinidad. We welcome all of the Caribbean, all of the Commonwealth, 72 countries, over 1,000 athletes, 500 officials and their parents and family members supporting. So we continue to promote sport tourism and sport development in Trinidad and Tobago, and we welcome the rest of the world to be a part. Well, you have already met 2 of the Hall of Fame inductees. Now, here is the rest of the class 2023.
The name Marcus Minchell, with his prowess at cricket, football, rugby and other disciplines, would still be mentioned decades after his heyday in the 1950s and 60s. Minchell, a wicketkeeper and top-order batsman, played for Trinidad and Tobago between 1959 and 1961. He also represented this country in football as a goalkeeper, along with rugby, basketball, and water polo. Phenomenally active, Minchell actually found time within his schedule for further endeavors in tennis, rifle shooting, boxing, snooker, and much more.
I had an innings at the Queen Park Oval against Barbados, where we were facing 2 of the fastest bowlers in the world at that time, Wes Hall and Charlie Griffith. It was a great, great honor having a Park Oval and an innings of 50 runs. The first Trinidad team to play in a World Cup. That is something I could never really forget because I scored 2 goals in our victory on that game. One of my greatest accomplishments in regards to sports is winning the bronze medal at the Pan American Games in 1967. Being inducted into the Hall of Fame, it's a great honor for me, knowing that I went through a great deal in sports in the past, and being honored now, it's a great deal to me.
While the renowned Roger Gibbon, Leslie King, and other Trinidad and Tobago cyclists of their generation were doing their country proud, Inspiration and guidance were being provided off the track by Ian Neve, who served as manager and coach of Trinidad and Tobago cycling teams at the 1966 and 1970 Commonwealth Games in Kingston and Edinburgh respectively. He oversaw Gibbons' double gold performances in the time trial and the sprint in Kingston, and was on hand for King's silver and bronze displays in the time trial and the sprint, plus Vernon Stoble's bronze ride in the 10-mile scratch race in Edinburgh. The founder of Pedal Boys Bike Club, and later the Ian Neve Riding School. He was also a pioneer when it came to getting women involved in cycling at the top level.
Reds became the first Trinidad and Tobago player to win a Central American and Caribbean singles title. He played on the team event, and Trinidad and Tobago won the men's team title. In 1969, Reds Mulligan was appointed non-playing coach captain of the Trinidad and Tobago team. It is the first and only time Trinidad and Tobago won the men's team, the women's team, and the boys' singles title in one championship. In 1973, Lionel Dakai won the men's singles, the men's doubles, and the mixed doubles title under his stewardship. In 1976, Reds was able to guide Lionel Dakai to win the men's singles. In 1978, I was able to win the men's singles title under his guidance.
First and foremost is the Caribbean Championships 1973 in Guyana, where I won 3 titles on the same night: the mixed doubles, the men's doubles, and the men's singles. I could remember that after those 3 matches, my legs just gave away at the end of the last match. I won the Caribbean Championships in 1976 again in Cuba. I have won several championships locally, like we had the ICI monthly tournament, which I won a few times. We had a Texaco International, I won too. Sports and Games Silver Bowl, I think I won that 3 years straight. And then at 59, I won the national championships, which was a great achievement.
It was an honor to represent Trinidad and Tobago, and I think the experience itself made me a better person, a better hockey player. Being the Hockey Player of the Year on 2 different occasions, the honor of being captain and coach of the Malvern Sports Club. We played in the North Men's Hockey Association, and we won the league there for 6 years straight, and then we went on to the Trinidad and Tobago Hockey Board and won for 10 years. So we had that stretch of 16 years of being champions. My most significant accomplishment was being coach of the Trinidad National Women's Hockey Team, which competed in the Pan Am Indoor Tournament. We won that tournament, and that qualified us to play in the Indoor World Hockey Tournament. Being inducted to the Hall of Fame is a humbling experience and very much appreciated.
Though stocky of stature, Ian Dorr played a strapping role as a physiotherapist with Trinidad and Tobago men's and women's national football teams at all levels, from the 1970s through the 2010s. Dorr was a member of the Trinidad and Tobago hockey team in 1969 and 1970. Over a 4-decade period, he was also a recognizable physio and athletic trainer at club level with units such as Joe Public, Queen's Park and TNTech FC, as well as in the Secondary Schools Football League with East Mukarapo Secondary School and St. Mary's College.
1987 was really one of the most exhilarating experiences that we've had. Something that stood out in that time would just be the experience and the warmth of the players that comprised that team, and being led by one of the most prolific players, Jean Pierre herself, who has been one of the best in the world. It was an extremely exciting experience to represent Trinidad and Tobago on the netball world stage. It was great for us to come together and to have that unity and that strength that was required to face the world. What we had, we were all patriotic, we were all excited and enthusiastic, and that was expressed on the court. And there was just a unity that we can continuously draw from that we experienced in that time.
We are very happy to be part of this occasion,
And while we have enjoyed our careers, it is time to pass the baton on to the next generation.
It is our great pleasure to introduce the top 10.
The First Citizens Sports Foundation proudly presents the Top 10 Youth. Aaron Antwine, Athletics.
Representing Trinidad and Tobago has been a reason why I've trained and will continue to train. My 2022 season started off strong with some of my highlights coming as early as Curveta Trials, where I not only qualified for Curveta, but I also set a new personal best and matched the national junior record of 2 meters, 10 centimeters. I then went on to capture gold at the Curveta Games in Kingston, Jamaica, where I set a new national junior record of 2 meters, 16 centimeters. And I also became the national junior and senior champion of 2022.
Rochelle Sanlufat, Karate.
The Commonwealth Karate Championships held in Birmingham, England. It was an exciting time for me and as well as my teammates, as it was our first major competition internationally. Did my best, followed my instructor Sensei Dexter Shim, and came out in second place.
Niraj Mahadio Singh, Boxing.
Training since 2019 to now, I never thought I would reach here, so I just keep training, keep listening to my coach, and just train every day, and just do everything right. Competing in my first fight internationally in Ghana, unreal, honestly. I won the 2022 National Championships in Trinidad, beat my first opponent. I won the 2022 National Championships in Trinidad. It all went to plan, and continue working on my craft, and that's for sure.
Jordan Dookie, Tennis.
My main goal was, I think, raise my ranking in the ITF circuit, which I did do successfully. I competed in US tournaments, in USDA tournaments in Naples and Atlanta, where I actually won one and reached the finals in another one. I competed in many ITFs in Jamaica, Guadeloupe, Dominican Republic, and Trinidad, where Trinidad had my most success, I think, reaching my first ITF finals. At the start of the year, my ranking was around 2,400, and at the end of the year, raising about 1,500 places, I ended at 1,200. That was mostly my main goal for the year.
Nikolai Blackman, Aquatics.
At the Curveta Games in Barbados, I medaled in every event. I got 7 gold medals, 4 silver and 1 bronze, and then the 4 golds in the relays. I'll say my other major achievements were swimming in Guadeloupe, the Caribbean Games, and I got 3 gold medals and 1 silver. And it was different because in this event, you have all the disciplines. Representing Trinidad and Tobago, I would say it's pretty cool. Every time you get a gold medal, you're always hearing the national anthem play, and it's such a small country in Trinidad that everybody would start to recognize your national anthem.
Tanique Vincent, Athletics.
The person who had influence on me was my twin brother Tyreek. What attracted me to the heptathlon is that it has 7 different events. My favorite one is the high jump, which is my strong point. I made my first ever Curveta team at the age of 14. Got 5 medals in the junior games, 2 golds, 1 bronze and 1 silver.
Damien Wilkinson, Rugby.
My major achievement is more playing for 15s and playing for 7s in Jamaica and Mexico. Being selected on the national team twice is my biggest achievement. People that inspire me. People in Trinidad is more Zoe, Miss Fleming, Nathan, a handful of people that just keep me going.
Tyler Hoashu, Aquatics.
When I broke my first record, short course 50-meter breaststroke. Then when I broke it again in another short course meet in later 2022, and when I broke the long course 50-meter breaststroke record. Knowing that you put in all this hard work after so many years and you're actually putting it out there, you get to represent your country against so many other nations, and it really feels good. It feels like you're doing something for yourself. I think I love training and swimming so much because I've created a family here with my team. Coming after school, seeing the people which I love to train with beside me, just a lovely environment.
Samir Saud Ali, Karate.
Other than the Commonwealth Championships that I took part in, I took part in e-tournaments and I placed first in about 4 of them. The main crucial factors that has impacted my karate career, my family has been a really important factor to me in my development. I have a long-term dream. By competing in the Karate One Premier League, I would like to attain a lot of accolades and accomplishments there. And later on in the future, after my competition days are over, I would like to go into teaching and bring up young athletes to be the future generation of karate in our Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago.
Phoebe Sandy, cycling.
My reaction to winning a gold medal in the team sprint was honoring its second gold medal that I've gotten in a team sprint, so I was happy to have it. The experiences of winning a silver in the sprints was quite a learning experience, to be honest. I didn't expect to do the fastest time and set a national record then, but it was an experience well spent because I've also learned a lot about my riding style and what I do need to improve on and what I'm good at. In my cycling career, I would like to achieve the Olympic one day, just representing as best as I possibly could.
And now, the top 10 seniors. Aaron Prince Boxing.
If you have a dream about representing Trinidad and achieving Olympic status, do not stop. Get involved, remain consistent, persistent, remain disciplined, and you will achieve. Because I'm a living example of it. There's a whole lot of people behind the scene that no one sees that I would like to thank. If I have to go through the names, because it's over 20 years of me being in the sport, if I have to go through the list of names of the person, you will run out of time.
Tennille Campbell, cycling.
At the Elite Pan American Championships in Peru, I decided to give track a crack this year. In 2023, I wanted to mix both track and road, winning a silver and a bronze as well. See what happens now when I start to do more track cycling. It's not a one-man show. I'm really grateful to my team.
Joshua De Silva, cricket.
Ever since I made the West Indies team, my goal was to score a Test 100 and hopefully many more. So the greatest moment of my career so far, averaging 97 in a series, is definitely a very good achievement for any batsman. And just to do my job in both departments with the gloves and the bat shows that hard work pays off. And once you put your mind to it, good things happen.
Tiana Guy, boxing.
I wanted to lose weight, so I felt like boxing would have been the perfect thing for that cardio, for that weight loss. My highlights for the year 2022 was being the first female boxer to represent Trinidad and Tobago at the Commonwealth Games. I got bronze at a tournament in Greece called the Acropolis Cup. I also got bronze at a Golden Belt Series in Mexico, and I retained my national title in December. And every day we are representatives or ambassadors of our countries.
Nicholas Paul, cycling.
I started off in Glasgow, where I broke my collarbone, and I really didn't know how I would bounce back to continue my hectic season. 2022 was a lot of events that I had targeted. Nations Cup in Cali, where I won the sprint and the carrying. They come out there with 2 gold medals, and on to the Commonwealth Games, where that was one of my biggest targets. It was a year that I would never forget.
Shaquanda Green Noel, netball.
Just 4 years ago, I made my debut for the Trinidad and Tobago national senior team. 4 years later, I was the captain leading the girls in city qualifiers. Receiving that award cemented all of the hard work and sacrifices that I would have had to make. But I think it's when you face those tough moments on court, it really brings out who you are and shows your true character. And the Commonwealth Games was one where I learned a lot about myself and about others and how to deal with circumstances under pressure, one that I truly needed.
Dylan Carter, aquatics.
I think that this bronze medal is the most proud that I've ever been of any race I have in my entire life. First of all, it's my first international medal in the 50 freestyle. All my international medals have come in the 50 fly before. So to get it in the 50 free is a big step for me in that event. I don't think I would have been attracted to the sport of swimming if I didn't see that moment and see what it did for everybody here in Trinidad and Tobago. It does get a bit lonely at times, but it's worth it, I think.
Sherelle Thompson, aquatics.
Birmingham 2022 was really a nostalgic experience. What I would take away from my 2022 calendar year, I would have competed in the pool and outside of the pool. I'm really proud of what my performances were at the Pan Am Games, World Championships and Commonwealth. And I'm also really proud of what was done outside of the pool, in the classroom as a student athlete, and also having the opportunity to really share those experiences and share what I learned with younger athletes coming up.
Jareem Richards Athletics.
This year I really focused more on executing a race instead of trying to run a fast time, and we worked 2 years back to back, the Olympic year and this upcoming season, to get this victory in the Commonwealth Games. I believe that sport is 90% mental and then 10% physical, because you have to believe you could do something before you do it. Bring an extra gold medal back home was, it was just great. We was elated, and I hope it sparked a lot of inspiration in the younger generation upcoming in track and field and in sport on the whole.
Michelle Lee Ahi Athletics.
My 2022 in the season was not planned. My coach just threw me in a race in Arizona. I ran pretty well. Normally I plan for indoors, but just diving with the sharks. It's always an honor being recognized for my accomplishment throughout the year. I'm always happy to get that email saying I've been nominated for award. For the younger athletes that's coming up, male, female, like no matter what you're going through, if you love track, keep pushing. You win some, you lose some, things are going to be hard. Eventually, you'll make it, because Rome wasn't built in a day.
And now it is my pleasure to announce the Youth Sportswoman of the Year. And the winner is Phoebe Sandy.
I would like to thank, firstly, God, my coaches, my parents, friends and family who supported me in my journey. I would like to also inspire the young ones, the young females that are coming up in Trinidad or in the region for extension. And I would also thank the First Citizen Sports Foundation for presenting me this award.
Congratulations, Phoebe. Keep up the good work. And now, the Youth Sportsman of the Year is Nikolai Blackman.
Firstly, I would like to thank God, then my parents and my family members and my friends for supporting me throughout the years, and my coaches especially for bringing me up to this level.
Congratulations to our youth awardees. You have done well. You have made us proud. And now is the moment we've been waiting for. The Sportswoman of the Year is Tennille Campbell.
I think I have so much people to thank because it's not a one-man show. So much people helped me get here to where I am now. And I'm really grateful to my team Tekwalula. I'm really grateful for my family, my friends and teammates.
Congratulations, Tennille. Well done. And now, the First Citizens Sportsman of the Year is Jareem Richards.
First of all, I'd like to thank God for giving me the athletic ability to portray my talent on the athletic circuit. Secondly, I would like to thank my coaches, my family, my wife, my sports psychologist for being with me throughout this long season. Thirdly, I'd like to recognize all the nominees. I definitely believe that we're in a golden era of sport in Trinidad and Tobago, with just to name a few, the likes of Dylan Carter and Nicholas Paul, to be mentioned among these athletes and to be able to come out successful is definitely a great feat, So I just thank you so much for this award and thank everyone.
First is more than just a place at the top. To be first, you need determination, passion, commitment, compassion, resilience. These are the values that make us first citizens. First means leading with technology. First is the power to achieve your true potential. First means putting people above all else. Today, we are growing across the region, and the best is yet to come. First citizens, we put you first.